Well, hi guys. Welcome back to Creative Inspirations of My Heart. I want to thank y'all for coming and watching my videos. And so I have some exciting craft today. We're going to be using Mod Podge, and we'll be using a little clip that comes from a clothespin. And then I'm going to be using the wood pieces off of the clothespins. I took them apart. I have a bunch of them in this bag over here that I'll show you. So that's what we're going to be using, a bunch of clothespins or pieces of clothespins. We're also going to be using some burnt umber from apple barrel. And I took and mixed it in a small jar with some water. And that's what I'm going to use to stain my clothespins with. I'm going to be using two flowers that I found at Walmart that were just gorgeous. I could not pass them up. Usually I can turn an eye, but I just not. I even may go back and get some more. They're just so pretty. They have this little, like almost like a berry mix on them. And they're just such a beautiful color. And I didn't even know what I was going to do with them, but they were like 94 cents, I think, at Walmart. So couldn't beat that price. And then I'm using the I'm using the February on the Blessing Bloom 2021 calendar from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to be using this one that says the faithful love of the Lord never ends. Lamentations 3:22. And I just went ahead and cut that page out, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be fitting it on this Dollar Tree Follow Your Heart round piece. I took the hanger off of the round piece. I cut it off. I'm going to be recycling this hanger with the clip to make a hanger clip on the back of my wall design. This is something that I saw on a fellow YouTuber's crafting this week, and I thought, hey, that's really cool. So I'm going to try that out. So we're going to actually be taking this piece of paper and Mod Podging it to the back of this board. And then after I get it Mod Podged onto the board, then I am going to take the clothespins and I'm going to have them stained with the paint. And after they dry, then I'm going to hot glue them around the edge and then add the flowers as a detail and possibly add a bow. I think I may have some ribbon that will match that perfectly and make a bow. So that's what we're working on today. I'm going to pause while I trim up my flowers and get those ready to go, and take off my price tags and get those ready and get my clothespins. Make sure that they get all stained. I may not use all of these, but I don't care that all of them are going to get stained. So I'm going to get them stained, get them dry, get them ready to use, and we'll be back. Just so y'all can see what I'm doing is I poured my paint in the bag, and so I'm just kind of mixing it up and distributing the paint amongst my clothespins. And that's how I'm painting them. And I may just, hey, if it turns out okay, I might keep the paint in the bag and see how long the paint lasts and stain some other pieces, because I do have some smaller miniature clothespins too, and I may want to just go ahead and get them stained as well, just to be able to be ready to have some crafts. And what I'm going to do is I have some leftover Christmas wrapping paper, and I'm just going to lay it out on the floor and or lay it out on my table and put these out and let them dry. It probably won't take long in this hot house for them to dry. So just going to let them kind of soak up a little bit of the paint, get a little bit of stain, and then we'll get started. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some Mod Podge on here, and we're going to Mod Podge the page from the calendar book on here. So I know that my page is probably going to clear about right here. And so I'm going to just Mod Podge from about an inch down all the way. Is what it's the way it fit on my circle. You just kind of, depending on which sign you get from Dollar Tree, just kind of lay it and kind of get an idea, a ballpark figure of how it's going to fit. on there. Oh wow, what a mess. I'm sure there's a reason for the little insert in the cap of the Mod Podge, but it is just a mess. And I had to peel it off. So that's what I had to do. I'm throwing it away. I'm probably going to regret that, but I usually try to keep it. I'm sure it there's a purpose for it, but it was a mess. So we're just gonna put some Mod Podge on here, and you know me, I'm learning this Mod Podge thing, so y'all are probably like, y'all are probably experts. I'm not, so, but I am learning. And one of the things I'm learning is that a little goes a long way, so I'm gonna try to keep it pretty thin coat because I don't really want it to soak too much through my paper. And we will, oh, I forgot, we will be using the glue gun today. So I will be getting my glue gun out, and we will be using that today. I know last week I didn't use the glue gun at all, but we will definitely be using the glue gun today. The glue gun to glue on the flowers and the bow and the clothespins. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the edges, and oh, I have nothing to protect my desk here. Eesh, I wasn't planning, did not plan purposely good on that one. I usually try to have something under it. Okay, oh well. Oopsie doosey. Okay, got no hurry today. Alright, so there's the Mod Podge for the thing, and I do want to line up. I'm trying to keep this as my center, and I'm lining up the hole on the paper, and you can kind of see my edge here where I had it on the, oops, I already had it on here in the dry form. I was trying to align it. Let me flip it over so we can kind of look at it together this way, because I want to get as much of the paper on here as possible, and I know I'm not, that is not lined up with that circle. Oh well, I want it to line it up. I didn't get it lined up like I wanted. Oh well. So I'm gonna just kind of press it from this side down. Now this particular round from Dollar Tree does not have glitter on it. It's just a piece of vinyl on top of a cardboard. So we're just basically adding to the cardboard. Now I've seen some people use different tools. Of course I have some fancy tools that I never use to spread this out. I may try to use my squeegee or my little spatula thingy here. Oh no, that may not be a good idea. I'm gonna do minor. I don't want it to be wrinkled, but I don't want to cause more wrinkles either. I know y'all expert people out there are hollering at me. Now a lot of this edge is going to be covered with the clothespins, so that will kind of mask some of that. So I'm not too worried about that. But I'm just basically pushing the air bubbles out. It's going to have a little wrinkled effect, but I think it'll be all right. It's going to be all right. I'm not going to put it on top. I've learned my lesson on that. Unless I do something that warrants it, I'm not putting the Mod Podge on top because it takes too long for it to dry. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm sure I got a mess on this side. Sure enough, look at that. It oozed it out. It oozed out. Yeah. Okay, well, doo-da-da. There we go. Alright, oops, more's oozing out. Okay. Maybe I can salvage it. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is, gotta find my emery board. I thought I brought it in here. I'm gonna look around and see if I have my emery board to do this, because I've seen where they do the emery boards. If not, we'll come back and we'll cut it with scissors, because it is going to be covered with the clothespins, so it doesn't have to be like a perfect edge. But I really like how when they use the emery boards, how nice a clean cut they get. So let me see if I can find my emery board to cut this edge off. I'll be right back. Found it. So basically what I've seen them do, and now I'm going to see if I'm still in. Yeah. So what I've seen them do is they go on the side here and they just rub the emery board along the edge, and they just keep rubbing it until the paper comes off. And so basically it releases a clean edge. Now I'm not going to do the whole thing on camera, but I'll do a little bit here just to kind of give you an idea of what we're doing, because I know I don't want to. Of course, if you have a more finer grain, oh, it does. Look how it just neatly comes off. So that's what I'm going to do all the way around. I'm just going to go around, but I'm not going to waste your time so you can watch me, but know that that's what I'm doing. Wow, I think I'm going to go invest in emery boards for my craft room, because this is perfect. You can, you know, of course you're going to dull them, but just take this, you know, take a look at this. I mean, I'm just going around the edge. I'm almost done with it. And I've only been away for a few minutes, so it really hasn't taken me that long to do this. But it really does make a clean edge. I mean, for the most part, may not be perfect, but I may be looking for a sale on emery boards. That is pretty cool. Yeah, I got an air bubble here, but I think when I put the clips on there, it's going to help cover that up. So I do have some trash. Of course, you know, it won't last very long, so you'll definitely have to invest in them, but it's definitely an investment that you need in your craft room. So all right. So now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go check my clothespins and see if they're dry enough to where we can add them around the edges. And we're just going to alternate, because some of mine came out dark and some of them came out light. So yeah, so we'll just see. We'll see what we do with that. But I think it's going to elevate this round piece and make it look even better than what it looks. I mean, you could just leave it like this. Originally what I had planned on doing is just putting the flowers on here just like this to kind of cover that top part, just to kind of give you an idea of where I was going at first with this situation. I was just going to lay my flowers out. Maybe I should lay these out first, and just basically lay my flowers in here and just do that like that to cover that top piece that's kind of bare. And I was going to leave it like this. But then I was watching a video last night of a fellow crafter, and I saw where she was using the clothespins for to elevate it up a little bit more, and I thought I kind of like that idea. So it'll kind of give it a little more of an edge. Then I can move my flowers up a little bit more and maybe have a bow in there. So yeah, so either way, either hot glue your little flowers on just like that. So you spent like $2 of flowers at Dollar Tree. No, sorry, Walmart. So it's 2 bushes, $1 a piece. And then your calendar, I mean, it's whatever calendar they have. You use the Valentine's one, which is February, or any month. It doesn't matter what month you use. And then you just use the round piece from Dollar Tree, which is $1.50. So basically, this particular one, if I were to just do that right there, that's definitely under $5. Probably like more like maybe $4 for the entire little craft put together. So not a bad deal. I'm gonna go get my clothespins, and I'll be right back. So as you can see here, I brought in the clothespins, and I'm gonna add them to my And I'm trying to decide, trying to ask y'all for help on deciding whether we should do the flat end up or if we should go with the other side, which has a little more decoration to it. And I think, I ended up choosing the decoration piece. So basically that's the choice I made. So we're going to add those to the board. And I'm just showing you there that I just took a clothespin apart to get my two pieces. And now I'm going to start hot gluing them to the board using the hot glue. And so I'm going to let you watch me do the first part just to kind of get an idea, and then I'm going to break in just a minute. I started to be a little adventurous and do 2 at a time. Then I realized, hey, this ain't going to work out. So I want to show you how to cover the hole, and I put a little dab of glue on one at the very end there on 2 parts to cover that hole so that the glue would not ooze out of the hole on the sign. And then I'm kind of slightly moving them over just a little bit because we're going to actually start going around the center edge there, or the curved edge. So I'm kind of showing you how we're kind of putting it on there just so that it kind of gets, it's kind of leaning a little bit toward. And so we're going around in a circle. And I will just continue around, all the way around, and come back and have you see it. Okay, so I've come back to kind of show you some mistakes that I made. I'm okay with identifying some areas where I made some mistakes. And so what I did is I got kind of antsy and I wanted to place them like a clock. So I did the 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. And then as I was filling in the middles, I realized that I was getting gaps, and I don't like the gaps. And so I'm going to go back in and I'm going to show you how I'm going to fill in the gaps. I'm just kind of finishing off this little piece to kind of show you how it leaves a gap. Unfortunately, it's out of camera zoom when you see it, so I apologize for that. But I think the last 2 pieces went in perfectly, and I didn't have a big gap. So now I'm showing you how I'm going to put some glue on the an extra one and kind of cover up a gap. And that is an area where I didn't have enough room to put 2, and it ended up being a gap. So I would recommend what you do is start in one place at the top and work your way all the way around and just go in a circle. That way all of your pieces will be even, and then when you get to the top, back to the top, if you need to clear a gap, then it will be okay because it'll be covered by flowers. So this is pretty much I'm filling in down at the bottom currently where you can't see it. And so now we're ready to move to the next step. And we are going to showing you kind of what it looks like. That really with your eye, you just kind of go around. You don't really see where you've added the extras. But then again, it's my craft. It's hanging in my house. I'm not selling it. And most of it's going to be covered with flowers anyways. So your eye's not going to be drawn to the additionals. So we're just going to glue down the berries first, part of the stem. And then I realized that I forgot that I needed to do the back clip. So we are going to let it kind of sit there for a few minutes and get settled on there. And then now I'm going to show you how to put the clip together to put on the back. And so I saw this on another YouTuber's video. So basically I'm recycling the jute from the sign. And you just take it and thread it onto the little metal piece that came off of the clothespin. And then I'm just kind of trimming it up a little bit. We're going to flip it to the back of the board. And this is a neat little hanger that you can put on any kind of wall decor that you're making. It really turned out cool. Just kind of measuring it, kind of seeing to make sure I'm straight. I'm showing that I am kind of straight. The line, the words are lined up on the back side. And so I'm just going to do a strip of hot glue, and I'm going to glue that jute down. And then I'm going to do a little bit of hot glue on the other side. And I'm going to glue it down. But I'm leaving the center unglued so that you can maneuver that little piece, that metal piece. It makes a great hanger. It's awesome. My piece is hanging up on the wall, and it's doing an awesome job. It's doing exactly what it's meant to do. I believe that crafter said her husband is the one that told her or shared that little idea with her. So now I'm going to continue to add my flowers, and we're just going to continue to glue on the large roses. And I'm going to be positioning them onto the top of my piece. And then we are going to, I'm going to kind of separate them just a little bit. I want a little space in there so that I can get a bow. I'm determined to get a bow in there. Adding a little extra glue just to make sure that it's going to stay in place. And then I'm adding the medium-sized roses onto the side. And I think that really just kind of sets in there really well and looks really nice. I like the colors and everything are just kind of blending together. And right now I'm kind of, showing you how the colors kind of match the wording. And then I'm asking, I'll just ask you, I have an older version of a glue gun, and so if you have a suggestion of a glue gun that is a dual temp glue gun, I'm in the market of looking for a newer gun that maybe won't leave so many glue webs. So I'm looking into. I'm in the market for it, and I'm looking. So okay, so now I found my ombre ribbon in my stash, and I'm not sure where I got it from. I either got it from Walmart, or it's been a long time. I don't know if you can tell by the price tag where it came from, but I think it matches really good. It brings out all the colors that are in this piece, and so now I'm just trying to determine what type of bow do we want to put on this piece. I'm not really sure, so I'm thinking maybe 4 loops. I don't want it too big because I don't want it to overtake the flowers. So I'm just kind of messing around with the ribbon, just kind of looking at it, making a few different types of bows just to kind of get an idea. And in a few minutes, I think I'm going to kind of asking y'all for guidance, but I think I figured it out. I'm thinking about loops. Should we just do loops? No. So I think after this loop, I kind of pull it out and I think, okay, I like this idea. So we kind of drape the ribbon around a little bit and then have like a bow in the middle, about the size of one of the roses. And that's exactly what we're going to do. And so we're going to take the ribbon. It's about a foot of the ribbon. So on the end, we'll have about a foot of a ribbon stream on the first end. And I'm going to make my bow very, very tight, a very small bow. My loops are going to be very small because I want it to be about the size of the rose. And I'm using about 6 loops and a center loop is what I end up using in the end. So basically you just twist and turn. It's the old way of making a bow. I know I've seen some I'm really fascinated with the different ways of making bows. I'm going to have to try some of the techniques that I've been seeing. I did make the messy bow already. I kind of like that idea for scrap pieces that you might have. So I'm sorry I'm out of frame. I'm just kind of determining my bows and finishing it off at the bottom by twisting the pipe cleaner to kind of get an idea of where I am. I think I've already let go of it, so I'm pretty well set. I was just pulling some of the ribbons a little bit. So it's a good thing about wire ribbon is you can still shape it. So that's what makes it's a really good ribbon to work with. And then I'm just going to take my ribbon and kind of swirl it around a little bit, kind of give a little wave look on there, and trimming up the bottom part with a slant cut. In the end product, you will see what I mean. I'm just a straight cut across, almost like a slant. I didn't do dovetail this time. And then I'm just twisting my twist tie all the way down and then making like a little platform for the hot glue. I'm putting some hot glue and I'm going to attach the bow right in the middle of the two flowers. And then I'm going to let that sit there for a few minutes and kind of set. So we're going to put some glue onto our wreath and go ahead and get that glued down. And then we're going to glue the other side down as well. Kind of doing a little tie there. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to fluff my bow up because at this time it's had enough time to kind of sit there. Nice little fluff there. And I think that makes plenty of little loops. All the loops are about the same size, including the center. And it really looks nice. And then you have your large roses on the side. Now if you want, you could go get another stem and put 3 roses and have a rose in the center if you wanted to do that too. All right, there's my cat's tail. I told you the story about my cat. Yeah, she was a stray. Oh yes, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Don't forget to give me a comment about the type of glue gun you would recommend. And like this video and subscribe. Okay, so there's the final product. Looking really good. I love the colors. Everything turned out perfect, in my opinion. So thank you for watching. Don't forget, leave me a comment and let me know what you think about which glue gun should I get next. Thanks, bye. I almost forgot to tell you how many clothespins I used. So I used 78, and that would be about 39 clothespins, just so you have an idea of how many clothespins I used. Bye.